Max TV, and my name is Max. I'll be your host. Today our guests are Kristina Nethercott from ARF, Rael Wienburg, who's a photographer, and we have Laura Palumbo, who is a vet that also has a singing career. You won't want to miss it, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Max TV. Please welcome Kristina from ARF, Animal Rescue Foundation.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good, thanks for coming. Now, Kristina, when did you get started with ARF?
I joined ARF about 10 years ago now.
Okay.
I started working from home. My life got a little bit quieter. Kids were grown, and I'd always loved dogs. So I sent out an email to a couple local rescue groups, and ARF was the first one who replied. So
Awesome, interesting. Who is this little guy you got here today?
So this is Pearl.
Pearl.
We fostered her with ARF about 4 years ago now. She came in with a lot of emotional and medical issues, but as you can see, with a lot of positive training and our great vet care, she's our Princess Pearl now. And after fostering her for so long, we ended up falling in love with her and we adopted her. So
Nice. Why is it so important to adopt rescued animals?
there are thousands of dogs waiting for homes and shelters and rescues all across the country. And without adoptive families being able to bring them into their homes, they often get euthanized. And so there's, even if you want a specific breed, there's always a rescue group even for that breed. There's puppies sometimes. You don't always have to have an adult dog. So I really encourage people to visit their local shelter or rescue and look for a rescue dog. They're
Nice.
very grateful.
Interesting. Now, for the people who are looking for a new puppy, where can they get information for your rescue?
Our website is arfontario.com.
Okay.
We always have postings of our new adoptable dogs and puppies on there. We do have a very active Instagram and Facebook page as well.
Okay.
Instagram is great for sneak peeks of dogs who aren't quite ready yet, but are going to be coming up in the future.
Nice.
And so yes, and petfinder.com is also another great resource. All the local rescues post on Petfinder as well.
Nice. Interesting. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming today, and thanks for bringing Pearl.
You're very welcome.
It's adorable. For more information on ARF, visit arfontario.com, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Max Show. My next guest is an avid photographer, videographer, and he has also worked on many film sets. Please welcome Rael Wienburg.
Thanks for having me on your show.
No problem. Thanks for coming. Now, you've been on many major film sets. Would you care to share some of them with us?
Not exactly on film sets, but I've been very fortunate to have had connections in the film industry. One example would be when the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, came to London. He did a guest pose at the Ontario Bodybuilding Championships, and I was hired to film the whole championship. And I also filmed his guest appearance, 3 or 4 minutes. And at some point they contacted me, the producer of a movie that he was producing, and about 9 seconds of the movie that I shot got into a movie called Standing Tall that was shown at the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, wow.
A couple of years later. So, and then the other one was connection with London. Rael Shaw, a son of the Marvin Shaw in London, produced a movie called Obsession, and I was very fortunate to film Sir Martin Gilbert, who used to live half time in this London and half time in the other London, and shot maybe 4 or 5 minutes of him that ended up in the movie that won the main documentary award at the Liberty Film Festival in Hollywood. So I was very proud, in fact, of both those achievements.
Nice. Now, I know you've done some work with Steven Spielberg. How is he to work with?
I never worked with Steven Spielberg, but you're 100% correct. I worked for Steven Spielberg. He was on TV talking about this project. He was on the Larry King show, and he was talking about the survivors of the Holocaust show. And he asked for volunteers throughout the world to take part in interviewing Holocaust survivors worldwide. And I followed up with the 1-800 number on the TV screen and was very fortunate to represent Steven Spielberg in an area from Kitchener to Waterloo, Kitchener to Chatham. So I filmed 32 Holocaust survivors in London, and that was the greatest honor. So, in fact, I never actually met the great man, but I was very proud to work for this incredible project.
Interesting. Now, how did you how did you start liking photography?
Now, it's interesting you mentioned photography because we've talked about filming, but in South Africa, where I lived for my first 30 years of my life, I was always interested in photography. I did a course in photography, a diploma course, just as a backup because I was a construction project manager. And when we emigrated to Canada, I started in construction as a project manager and worked on a few big projects. And then a recession hit London and I had to do something. So I decided to make my hobby my profession. I volunteered for Rogers Cable. In those old days, there was McLean Hunter, who the company covered South London, and I did a course in filming. And as a result, I decided to start my own business, Raymar Video Productions, and hopefully was wanting to become another Steven Spielberg, but it didn't quite work that way. And I ended up filming weddings and events and plays, and it's been the most incredible life. Then later on, I started taking photographs, and photography became part and parcel of what I do. And now recently, I'm into shooting real estate listings for real estate agents in London. Loving it because it's always new experiences, many homes, and I just love the experience. So, and also in photography, I love to do my own stuff, like I film the moon and I film sunsets, and I've been very fortunate that our local TV have used a number of my photographs on the Weather Channel, mainly through Rita Ishmael, but also Julie Aitchison has used some of my pictures. So that's more a fun thing than the professional side, which I do school photography, some portraits photography, and then the real estate that I talked about. Yes, that's become quite big. Anything else you want to ask me?
No, I think we're good. Thank you so much for coming and sharing some stories about your career.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. We'll be right back with Max TV after this.
Most days you can't live without him, most days you have doubts. The center of attention, he gets the party started. Sometimes he forgets that I'm the one that stole his heart. Goodbye, Leo. I'm lying from the get-go. Oh, goodbye, Leo. Selfish, headstrong as a bull. When he's feeling low, just stroke his ego. Goodbye, Leo. Goodbye, Leo. Confident and charming, he attracts the other girls. I think he forgets that he was hunting me down first. I got my act together, I stand out from the rest. You should have watched his wild ways, 'cause I deserve the best. Goodbye, Leo. Bad boy with his tough love. Oh, goodbye, Leo. My inconsistent lover. Emotional roller coaster's getting old now. So goodbye, Leo. Goodbye, Leo. It's the price that you pay when you fuel the flame, when you mess with the fire, boy, of lover's lane. Are you all in or out? Can you handle the doubt? Can you live with the thought of it burning out? Oh, goodbye, Leo. I'm lying from the get-go. Oh, goodbye, Leo. Selfish, headstrong as a bull. When he's feeling low, just stroke his ego. Oh, goodbye, Leo. Goodbye, Leo. Oh, goodbye, Leo. Bad boy with his tough love. Oh, goodbye, Leo. My inconsistent lover. Emotional roller coaster's getting old now. So goodbye, Leo. Goodbye, Leo. Goodbye, Leo. Goodbye, Leo.
My name is Palumbo. This first song is called Life's a Stage. You run in the underground, you're afraid of the way it sounds before. Step up, don't lose control. He sees you breaking the wall, the way they shine like plated gold, shine bright, brighter than before. 'Cause you like the stage light in so that's life stage.
Welcome back to Max TV. My next guest is a mobile veterinarian that is also our renowned singer. Please welcome Laura Palumbo.
Hi, Max.
Hi,
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming. Now, what exactly is a mobile vet? A lot of people don't know.
So what I do is I'm kind of a vet on wheels, so I'll go to people's homes and look after the pets on location, so it's a lot less stressful for them, the cats and dogs, and even some of the large animals.
Yeah, especially the ones that don't like to drive.
They don't like to
going in cars.
drive, they get stressed in the car, or even people that don't drive, right?
Yeah. And what kind of pets do you see? Do you see all kind of pets, whether it's a wild animal or a domestic house pet?
There's quite a range. I am licensed to see all types of animals, which is kind of, it's great to have that flexibility, but the majority of my patients are cats, dogs, sometimes I'll see rats and ferrets, and I get some horses, some goats. It's quite a range.
Wow.
No elephants or tigers as of yet. But
Not yet.
not yet.
You're getting there.
Yeah, getting there. Bringing the big gloves.
Now, why did you want to be a veterinarian? What made you want to push towards that?
Growing up in the country, we always had lots of different animals, from rabbits to chickens to horses, and I really loved the problem solving and the science side, but I also loved helping. So for me, it was a really good choice. I could bring those two things together, and
Interesting,
it worked well
nice.
for me.
Now, switching more into your music career side, what made you want to do music as well?
Well, it's interesting. Growing up, I kind of wanted to just be a rock star and tour the world. That was the plan.
Living the dream?
Living the dream. My parents really wanted me to get an education, but
Yeah.
they also gave me the gift of music. So I learned piano at a young age, and then I learned my other instruments, and actually wrote my first song driving a tractor, like to the rhythm of the engine of the
Wow,
tractor.
that's
So
amazing.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
started. I've kind of always tried to do both and keep both balanced.
Nice, and now you're making your own albums. Well, you're
Yes.
helping animals on the road.
Yes,
That's amazing, nice.
I actually donate proceeds from my CDs to.
to helping animals?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it works out well, and a lot of my clients come out to my shows. Not the patients all the time, no dog. Dogs and cats are welcome to the shows, but they may not always
I
like.
may not always enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for coming out. And would you mind playing us a song on our way out?
I would love to.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Max.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming. Coming up next is a special performance from Laura Palumbo.
Hi, I'm Laura Palumbo, and this is my original song called "You'll Never Bring Me Down." Try to bring me down, hello, I'm not a pushover. My life is super fly, and I can say that's sober. A whole lot of fun, never hurt anyone. So why you gotta bring me down? I like it when my head's lost in the clouds. My dreams are big and tall, like the CN Tower. You'll never bring me down. Living in the moment, oh what a pretty pleasure. Never carry doubt or worry about the weather. 'Cause life is just a game and we are the winners. So why you gotta bring me down? I like it when my head's lost in the clouds. My dreams are big and tall like the CN Tower. You'll never bring me down. Down, bring me down, 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 no. Hold your head up, shout it out. Don't trust your mind, trust your heart. 'Cause nothing's gonna bring me down. I like it when my head's lost in the clouds. My dreams are big and tall like the CN Tower. You'll never bring me down.